Okay guys, good morning. Tuesday morning. Zach and them got here early and they are already gone, and it's 5 minutes till 8. We got a lot to do, but we got 3 people out here, so yeah, y'all. Yeah. So I've been kind of consumed with this Takahauchi, man. And man, I don't even know if I'm gonna buy that thing, dude. I mean, this is my thinking, y'all, just based on what he's telling. I'm trying to read between the lines. The dealer, it doesn't seem like a dealer is gonna be, a salesman is gonna be all the way straight with you. They know they make a good machine, and so, but, the mere fact that they have to replace the back door, man, that just speaks volume to me. It really does. I don't know if that's a machine that I'm gonna want, man. I'm gonna go through that. I'm gonna take my mechanic with me when I go up there. He's my buddy too. I'm gonna look over that machine hardcore, man, before I buy it. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to get video of that process, but yeah. There's so many different ways to look at it. Yeah, it's good, and of course you always like to look at the good. It's good that I can check it out and run it for a month, before I actually make the call on purchasing it. But I'm gonna have to pay $2,700 to rent it. And if I don't purchase it, then that $2,700, I pretty much gave it away. So it's a win for them too. It's a win for me in a weird kind of way, but it's a win for them too, because if I don't buy it, they just made another $2,700 on the damn machine. And I know for a fact that I'll probably be able to make $2,700 in that time period, but that ain't a guarantee. I don't have a lot of Bobcat work lined up because I don't have time. So these are things that I'm thinking about. I know, and it does, sound good, but I don't even know. To me, man, I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe the fact that only one person had the machine. I'm thinking it was a straight rental, right? Because that's what it looks like. It looks like more than one person. It doesn't look like a machine that someone bought and was gonna buy and spent, it looks like a rental they trying to sell. And, I get it, nothing wrong with that, but I find it hard to believe that only one person has rented that machine the way it looks, and that person was gonna buy it. Because based on the pictures, and the pictures might not be doing it justice, but based on the pictures, it looks like it's been ragged out. So, it's a good thing to be able to check it out for a month. But if I don't buy it, then that $2,500, $2,700, whatever it is, that I gave that away, because I don't need to rent a machine, right? So then, okay, say I don't buy it. Okay, let's play it all out. Say I don't buy it, and I say, nah, I'm gonna wait on a new machine. They got a TP12 right there, doing all this tree work right here. Say I don't buy it, and I'm gonna wait on a new machine, okay? And that's not a 100% guarantee, but we'll just say that. Let's try to play the scenarios out. So now, I rent that one, I use it for the month, and if I go up there and it looks all beat up, I'm not even going to rent it, y'all. I'm not going to waste the money because I don't need to rent one. I got a Bobcat. I don't have to rent one. See, you got to be thinking, man, if you're me, man, in this type of situation, because if it's all beat up, then I'm going to assume the worst, and rightfully so, because I'm only saving $10,000. And oh damn, man, Ray, only $10,000. Yeah, only $10,000. Think about it like this: can I make $10,000 with Bobby between now and August or September? You know, I don't know. I don't know. But if the machine is all beat up, I'm just not gonna. I mean, they're gonna have to really clean that thing up for me to buy it. I can tell you that right now, because $57,000 might as well be $80,000, because it's the same thing to me. Yeah, it's a $10,000 savings, and it would be a deal if the machine were in great condition, and you know, Farmer John had it for the 205 hours, but it doesn't look like Farmer John had it. It looks like somebody had that thing, or 2 or 3 people, or I just think it was a straight rental, and the last guy that used it, rented it, he probably was going to buy it, and then he decided not to. And then why did he decide not to buy it? What kind of business puts all the thought and stuff into buying a $60,000 machine, and then gets it, and then then backs out? See, that makes me weary, y'all. I don't care. I mean, that makes me weary. You know, I don't expect the salesman to tell me, you know, that they had, you know, that it was a rental for the last 4 months, and you know, and true enough, it could be. I mean, a skid steer is going to catch hell, you know, but I need to know what kind of hell it's been catching. And if I don't, and buying a machine where I don't know what it is, you know, where they got to replace the back door. I've had my T190 for going on 3 years, and I ain't had to replace the back door yet. I mean, I'm just throwing what I know out there. So I don't even know. I'm probably going to shoot down there, probably in my car. I'm not even going to go down there with an intention of taking it with me. I don't know, because I'm going to force myself to have to think about it. I'm not going to get down there, and because it ain't going nowhere. And if they sell it to somebody else, I'm not. My feelings ain't hurt. I'm back to 67,000. Can I make 10 grand with Bobby by the end of the summer? That's what you got to ask yourself. Well, I might be able to. I'll be saving $2,700 off the muscle, you know, because if I rent that machine and I don't buy it, and that gives them the end, they have the upper hand. When you spend $2,700 to rent it for a month to check it out, I mean, it's in their best interest that I don't buy it. Then they get to keep the $2,700. See, yeah, it's slick, man. It's slick. It has the illusion, and it is a good thing, unless you don't buy it, right? So, and see, I am that dude. I'm that dude that won't buy it, just like the other guy. Why didn't the other guy buy it? See, there's a reason, because they're going to have to do better than that for me to sign up for $700-800 a month payment. For me to put down $30,000 on my money. It'll be the biggest purchase that I've made since I bought my house. And I'm going to be overly cautious about it, because I cannot afford to make no mistake. And then, you know, I run it for a month, and I give it back. I believe I can make the $2,700 in a month. You know, even it ain't it ain't that I can't make money with it, it's that I don't have time. The scenario of a new machine coming in September sounded a lot better to me now that I've been able to sleep on it for a few days, you know, since I found out about this machine. I mean, I'm dreaming Takeuchi, y'all. It is because it's heavily on my mind. So that's the reality of it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Now on to the T190. So the dude I bought the T190 off of, I talked to him. I reached out to him yesterday, and he is giddy over maybe getting that machine back. He flips machines, and he's got one for sale right now. It's a Bobcat. I'll probably get some video when I go over there. I told him that the T190 had a little fire, and he said, well, man, that's not that uncommon. He said, does it still run good? I'm like, yeah, you know. And I told him, and I'm gonna show him. He asked me what I needed to get for it. I said what I paid for it. That's all I want. I don't want anything more, anything less. And I paid $20,000 to him for it. I gave him $20,000 in cash. Just give him my 20 grand back. And he was not opposed to that, because he's in the used skid steer game. I mean, he flips them all the time. So that's my thinking. This is yesterday afternoon after I got off work. So then last night, dude blowing my phone up. Hey man, you want to bring the machine by tomorrow and let's work a deal on it? I mean, he was very enthusiastic about purchasing it, right? And see, I know the dude. I know he's got the money. He ain't gonna be no tire kicking. It ain't gonna be nothing. He's gonna try to get it cheaper, but he knows where I'm at, and he knows me. So, but I do have and feel a certain type of way toward this gentleman, because, you know, he sold me Bobby, and he sold me a good machine, and I do feel a certain type of way about it, about him, and because he really changed the game for me. He's that type of dude. I mean, he knows the used value market, and he was telling me about the Takeuchi. He had a TL12 with 2,000 hours on it, and I saw it on Facebook that he sold for $52,000, and it was it had like 2,100 hours on it. And he said now he's got a Bobcat there. He said, dude, when you see this Bobcat I got, you're going to fall in love with it. It's too big. I said, well, I'm not going to buy a Bobcat with, you know, with the door and the clothes and all that. I'm just not going to do that, no matter what the deal is. Because I know me. And I have learned, one thing I've learned in business is you don't make purchases solely on because it's a good deal or not. I mean, that's a part of it, but I don't usually, you know, like I know I could get an X-Smart Laser Z, you know, maybe not right now, but I could get a X-Smart Laser Z, get the S series for $3,000 or $4,000 cheaper than the X series when I was buying mowers. But just because it's a better deal don't mean it's a better mower. And same thing applies to just about everything. Well, at the end of the day, I just don't take the cheap route, because the cheap route most of the time for somebody in business. Now, if you're a homeowner, it's different. You got to look at things a little bit different. But if you're in business and you're making money with stuff and you got to run it every day, you want the best, and I want the best. I want the best based on what knowledge I have of whatever I'm doing right then. Like when I bought the T190, that was the best based on the knowledge that I had at that point in time. The TL8 is going to be the best based on the knowledge I have right now. And 5 years from now, you know, there may be another thing that I've learned with having a TL8 that I don't like. But I think what I might do is another thing. There's so many ways you can do this. Another thing that I may do too, y'all, is I may, when I go down there and look at it, I don't want to rent it for a month. I don't need a month to figure all that out. If they need to get some rental out of it, I'll do that. Let's just rent it for a week. In a week's time, I can figure out, you know, I mean, it's going to really have to fucking impress for me to buy that machine. Really have to impress. And I don't like wasting time. I don't like wasting my time. I don't like wasting the, you know, the salesman's time. Because I know for a fact that he'll be able to sell it. He just might not be able to sell it to me. Why would it need a new door, y'all? Have y'all seen the back of those machines? The back of those machines are not like my T190. They got fins, and the door is not big and heavy duty 1/4 inch steel. It's got fins, and there's a radiator hanging on the back of the door, right inside the door. I mean, one stick go up in there, dude, and you done punctured something. And true enough, I know everything can be fixed, but I don't want a machine that I'm paying payments on, that I don't know the history on. I'd rather just make another $150 a month payment and have a machine that's brand fucking new off the showroom floor, that I'm in control of, that I can baby throughout its whole life. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to baby the machine. And I know that machine ain't been babied. So, but I'm not doing my due diligence if I don't go look at it. And I'm not doing my due diligence if I don't try it. But I don't want to rent it for a month. I think that's a way out too. Because I can rent it for a week, and I'll know then if I want to buy it or not. You know, I'm not going to let them force me into buying it, you know, renting it for a month. Because at the end of the day, y'all, I don't need to rent a machine at all. You got to keep that in your head. But at the end of the day also, it's going to cost me $2,700 to demo the machine for a month. And that's probably the same thing that the other guy did. That's why they still have it. I guarantee it, man. I guarantee it. I'm not gonna make no rookie move, y'all. Don't worry. I'm not. And maybe it is a rookie move to wait on a shiny new one. Now, if they come down on, if they see that I'm not going to buy it and they come down on the price some, well, then we might be in a hole. If they'll come down to 50 grand or something like that, then we might just be willing to do that. Because I'm putting $30,000 down. If I only have to borrow, I'm putting 30 grand down. I mean, it's really not costing me, excuse me. It's really not costing me as much as it looks on paper. I know Dwayne, the dude that I bought my T190 off of. I know he'll buy my T190 with no. Now I might have to give it to him at a better price than what I want to get. But it's worth it to me not to have to hassle with a bunch of tire kickers. Because a bunch of tire kickers can cost you a bunch of money. And then you got to worry about them having the money, because that is a chunk of money to come up with in cash. And I want cash. I don't want nothing but cash. I will probably take Dwayne's check, but he don't roll like that. He'll bring me cash just like I brought him cash. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things to think about. And I know, you know, y'all hear me going on and on about it. I'm really talking about it from my own memory, so I can make sure that I don't miss nothing. Can't afford to make a mistake right here, right now. And if I'm only saving $10,000, that's not worth buying a beat up machine that has been pushed and already needs a rear door replacement, a rear camera replacement. Come on, man. But they got a company that builds bumpers for these machines, and I've already been in touch with them too, about building a bumper off the back of the machine that opens up just like the door does, made out of 1/4 inch freaking tubing. Dude, these bumpers are badass. A little bit pricey, but well worth it. I think you said $2,400 for a bumper. But we're talking about yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. Because the way, and then I would even go a step further than the bumper. I would put mesh up in there too. So a stick, because if you look at the back of those machines, you know, there's fins on it. And the gauge steel is not heavy steel. It's you know, but a stick could go up in there, and it'll go right up into the damn, I mean, dude, it could really do some damage, man. You know, if you put some, if I put a bumper down, put a bumper, and Takeuchi has pre-drilled, pre-tapped holes on the sides of the machine, on the outside of the door. The door's in the center here, and you can just run a bolt up in there, and there's 3 on each side. Well, there's 6. There's 2, 2, and 2. And the bumper can be about this high, come all the way halfway up the door, all the way up to right around where the lights are. And then I got that heavy mesh that I will weld on the inside of that once I get the bumper built. I'm definitely going to set aside $2,500 to do the bumper, because the machine that I buy is going to have to be all that. It's going to have to, you know, it's not going to lose value because I put a bumper on it. It's going to save that door from being replaced. I can't believe that a door is already being replaced with 205 hours on it. The back door of the whole machine. That means they done fucked it up. That's what that means. I embrace it. I'm nervous about it, but I embrace it, and I understand that, hey, you know, in order for me to grow and make more money and grow and develop, then this is part of what I got to do. So you guys let me know in the comments what y'all think about the bigger picture of the $2,700, you know, non-refundable thing if I don't buy it. Is it worth me spending $2,700 to rent a machine that I don't really even need to rent? Why don't I rent it for a week and take it over to the bamboo site and just, you know, mess around with it over there, and then not buy it, then have a better understanding of what I am buying when I do buy a new one. So you got to be looking at it like that too. I don't need a skid steer. I don't need one right this minute. And that is very relative. That is very important. If my back were on the wall, then there's a couple reasons why I don't need one. The number one reason obviously is I have Bobby. The number two reason is I don't hardly have time to and I don't have a lot of skid steer. I got about $4,000 in skid steer work that I could probably go do. But some of that's going to be a timing thing, and I'll have to, I know for a fact I got $1,800 I can go make at any given moment, you know. That's, you know, without me having to go look at anything or having to go sign contracts or anything. I just don't think I'm willing to rent it for a month. I'll rent it for a week and just chalk that up to learning about, you know, it and everything. I really ain't even got to rent it for a week. I go down there and look at it running around in their yard for a minute and then just to tell them, hey, y'all let me know in the comments, why in the world would they want to put a new door on the back of it? That tells me a lot. See, and I like the salesman. He's a nice guy, but all salesmen are nice guys. When they know you're finna spend and they know they're finna get a commission. I ain't buying a ragged out machine. I'm not gonna buy a machine with 200 beat up hours on it. Even the inside of the cab looked terrible, y'all. Terrible. Either the salesman is kind of naive, or what? The salesman should have waited to call me and tell me they had it in there. Because the salesman thinks that I'm like everybody else, that I'm in a mad dash rush hurry to get a machine because of the availability. They're using that as a sales tactic, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm leaning toward not purchasing, but I have to do my due diligence. I'm going to go up there with the intent of not buying that machine based on the pictures and based on the conversation me and the dealer had. I'll wait on a new one. They can keep renting that one. That's all they've done. They probably rented it he said that it's 3 months old. They probably have rented it for 3 months to 3 different people. That would be my guess. And when the first person didn't get it, they just took the $2,700 hit, but they probably made 10 grand in that month. And the second person didn't get it, same thing. And then the third person, which is the last guy, didn't get it. That sounds more reasonable to me. And now what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to rent it to me and make another $2,700, and then they're going to sell it. But they're not really making the $2,700. What that tells me is, well, it's just a money game, right? Because at the end of the day, they don't. Yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, if you really want to break it down, and some of you guys let me know if I'm wrong, if it makes sense or not. At the end of the day, they're basically can sell me that machine for $55,000. They can, and bypass all that rental shit, because they're going to take the $2,700 off the $57,000 anyway. They'll be getting more rental money out of it, but they'll be getting less sales money out of it. It's just a money game. That's all that is. I'm going to call the dealer today, and I'm going to talk to him about, my thinking. And I don't want to rent it for a month, though. I just don't. If he tells me I have to rent it for a month, then I'm not going to buy it. Because I just don't need it for a month. What's it going to cost me to rent it for a week? And it ain't about the $2,700 or not. It's just about I don't need it for a month. Hell, if I rent it for a month, it's going to sit at my house. Out of 30 days, it'll sit at my house 22 days. I don't have a week's worth of fucking Bobcat work to do. Don't make no sense to rent this thing for a month. Well, Ray, man, you're just being cheap. No, that's just being smart, man. I'm not typical, y'all. I'm not your typical landscaper. I'm doing a lot of different stuff, man. I got a man lift. I do tree trimming. I mow lawns this time of year. Skid steer for me is mostly fall, winter, and early spring work. Yeah, that might change, but when I bought the T190, that's all it was for. It wasn't to run during the heat of the summer because I don't have time. Y'all know, man.